What's going on, guys? Welcome to another video. I'm your boy NarikChase, and in this video we're going to be doing another episode of Character Ranker. And in this one we are going to be taking a look at one of my favorite book adapted characters in TV, as well as one of my favorite movie characters of all time, James Bond. Now, there have been several actors to take up the mantle as Bond, but we're going to be talking about particularly the 90s actor, the one who took him up in the 90s, which is Pierce Brosnan. Pierce Brosnan is the Bond I pretty much grew up with. Yes, I've seen elements of the other ones, but he's the one that I've solely been really grew up on because I am a child, a late 80s baby. So, of course, I'm going to see his Bond more than the others. But let's go ahead and play this bad boy. I ain't got a chance to do that in a while. I do it correctly. Because the last time I said I was going to do it, I tried to do it and then it didn't do it. And then I started talking and it ended up doing it. And I was like, okay. So, but anyways, we are going to be looking at Pierce Brosnan's performance as, of course, 007. Now, he played 007 in 4 of the James Bond movies. There was in the 90s, and 3 in the 90s, 1 in the early 2000s. Now, James Bond was a fictional character created by Ian Fleming in 1952. He's this secret spy, this spy agent, the secret agent who basically works for MI6 and who ends up going into these bad organizations, stopping bad people from doing bad things. Now, this could be political, it could be environmental, it could be one guy, it could be a group of people. He is the man for the job. He's awesome. He's a womanizer because in almost every incarnation in the books, in the movies, you see he always just sleeping around. He always drinks. He likes to gamble. You know, there's always car chases. He knows how to shoot. He's a skilled marksman. He knows how to fight. He's just basically the awesome, flawed secret agent, but that's loyal to that's completely loyal to MI6 and to England. He's a good guy. He just has problems drinking and gambling sometimes, but he's an all right cat. And in almost every movie, in fact, every movie's there's always a love interest. In the books, there's always a love interest. But he's an all-around awesome character, and one of the few characters to continuously have these different incarnations and still be relevant. Because like that's up there with like Sherlock Holmes. He's up there with like Doctor Who. He's up there with like Dracula. Just he's been portrayed. His series has been portrayed and rebooted so many times that his legacy is able to live on this long is actually really good. But yes, Pierce Brosnan ends up playing Bond and GoldenEye that came out in 95. Tomorrow Never Dies that came out in 97. The Word's Not Enough that came out in 99. And Die Another Day in 2002. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this, guys. I like him. I like Pierce Brosnan as Bond. He does one thing that many of the other Bonds aren't, that I don't think actually hit the mark on it, besides Sean Connery. Like, he's very suave. Like, that's how he's able to, of course, pick up chicks and everything. Pierce Brosnan definitely has that suave element to his character, the way he delivers his lines, the way he talks, the actual dynamic he has with these different females, whether they're good, whether they're bad, whether they're indifferent. He definitely pulls off the suave. It's like if he's the type of guy you bring with you to, like, the wedding ringer. He's like that guy. He's that guy who will hook up with a chick just to get you with another chick, and he gets everything done. Like, as far as the suave element of Bond, he definitely takes the cake. You see it in almost all his damn movies. There's one thing that he does better than, because I like Daniel Craig and I like Roger Moore, but I think specifically in terms of that charismatic, suave element, the sarcasm, Pierce Brosnan definitely has that with that character. There's like, aside from Sean Connery, he's the one that definitely has that. Of course, they say that he's athletic, and of course, in the films he's younger. He's younger, so he kind of goes. He kind of looks the part and everything. Um, I think the actual portrayal itself is really good. He's definitely a good Bond. He's definitely good when it comes to like the gambling, the drinking moments. Like it just he owns the personality. I would give him that. Like fuck everything else, he definitely got the personality hand down. I have no problem with his portrayal as Bond. The man is absolutely gold. I love his movies. He does a great job with the damn character. Um, there's not really a different version or anything, but it's his version. I think he does a really good job. And a lot of I think it does kind of fall back towards like Sean Connery, or I can kind of see the similarities in the actual performances and stuff. I think that he does take a lot of inspiration from Sean Connery because I do like that portrayal of his character. Now, if you look at Daniel Craig's more of like a physical aspect of the character, which I'm not saying his performance is bad, but he has more of like the physical aspect of the character, like the chase sequences, the fights and stuff. And even though Pierce Brosnan does have the physical look and everything with the fights and stuff like that, I actually think that he's more of the character, the personality. So I think he works better as the personality. And I love the writing surrounding the character. Yes, he's a womanizer. Yes, he kills people no problem. But I do like the fact that he is a bit regretful for people that die, because a lot of people die around this character, and a lot of good people. And I like that is brought back onto his characters. And he has definitely, like, he's definitely, what the I lost my train of thought there. My favorite movie scene I've seen him in, probably of all the four movies, I like GoldenEye. GoldenEye is my shit. But next to GoldenEye, it would be The World Is Not Enough, Die Another Day, and then Tomorrow Never Dies. And I like that. I like that he has these pretty cool relationships with these different chicks, and each chick brings out a bit of something different in them. I've always appreciated Pierce Brosnan's performance because it feels subtle in a lot of aspects. One of the best things you like to see in a Bond film is kind of the back and forth between his relationship with. That's one of the best aspects with the Bond series is his relationships with all the other characters, whether it's with Moneypenny, Q, M, the villains, other side characters. Is the back and forth that makes it really good. And I think he completely just owns the actual dialogue aspect as well as the personality. I really appreciate things like that because it gives so much depth to the actual character. Now, does he do a good job? Yes, he's absolutely good as Bond. He is probably one of me personally, I think he's like the definitive Bond, like film Bond. Like he was perfectly cast. Now you can say in Die Another Day is a bit older, which I don't really mind that because Bond is like 30, between 30 and 40 anyway, and that's like your max. But you can say, hey, he tipped over the 40 scale, and this is supposed to be. I think Die Another Day was actually supposed to be like Bond being a bit too old, but he's taking like a last mission almost. But no, it wasn't because he did get captured. But I think in the movie they were going that route. Like, okay, maybe he's actually too old. So let's see there. Cool. But I actually don't mind it. I really don't mind it. I think that that in terms of the casting performances, yes, he definitely owns the freaking role. Now, if I could cast anybody else, there's two actors I wouldn't mind casting. Each one of them would bring something a bit different. I think Tom Hiddleston would be a good Bond to replace him, as well as James McAvoy. Now, Tom Hiddleston, I've fairly recently, really gotten into many of his stuff because, of course, of him being in the MCU, as well as James McAvoy, him being in the X-Men films. So that's where I know these two from. But I think both of them they're very diverse in terms of their acting, regardless if it's more of a comedy, drama, horror adventures. I've seen them just jump into many of these different avenues, which I really like. And the reason why I think both of them, I think McAvoy could potentially portray a younger Bond That maybe possibly first getting into the game. I'm not saying a guy like young like that, but it would be interesting to see a younger Bond, a less experienced Bond, getting in on the scene. So I could potentially see him being more of a reboot. Tom Hiddleston, I think he could easily fit into the Daniel Craig verse of Bond. The dude does look the role. He does have that personality, a bit more stronger personality that I think than Daniel Craig's Bond was. Bond is. I think it would be more of like the Pierce Brosnan. So if it would be two actors, I could definitely say it'd be Tom Hiddleston or James McAvoy. Again, like I said, Hiddleston's been in a lot of great movies. He was in Crimson Peak. He was in Kong Skull Island. Of course, you know, it's Loki from the MCU. So there's just a few just to be talking about him. James McAvoy is in Split. He's going to be in the upcoming movie Glass. He was in the freaking movie Wanted. He was Professor Xavier in the X-Men movie. So diversity. And I think both of these actors have a wide range of diversity, but can actually become very serious for roles such as this. And they both have the physical aspect of it. So I don't really mind it. I do see Brosnan as that which was mentioned in Fleming's description of the character. So I didn't. So that's another reason why I think not. Is he tall? Is athletic? At the time, yes. Still has that handsome quality to him. So I don't mind it. I really didn't mind it. Oh, I'm sorry. And overall design of the character, of course, all you see is 007 wearing these like badass looking suits. So, you know, he definitely can look sharp. He's definitely freaking awesome. He also has that really small gun. But I forgot what is it called. But sometimes it comes out with a silencer. But it's pretty cool. So, and then you always see Bond. Another reason that I like Bond is because you see him during his era of Bond. It was about like all this really cool technology and stuff. How he would utilize it to get out of certain sticky situations. A lot of times it does come off as a bit kind of convenient, because a lot of times when you see one invention in one movie, it doesn't cross over to the next movie, despite it being still pretty much canon. That's kind of like one of the gimmicks of the originals James Bond movies, where it's like every movie you want to see a different invention and how you use that invention to get out of a sticky situation. Which sometimes it happened. Sometimes it was like, yes, it was kind of convenient because he would get if he would get an invention that he would need at that time. Like he would be, you know, in a plane or something, and the plane goes down. Then he happened to have like a pair of shoes that he could use like a jetpack or something. So you'd be like, yeah, it's kind of convenient. But in this one, I think they still kind of do it. Like there was one sequence in The World Is Not Enough where they were skiing and they're having this badass fight with these guys on the snowmobiles, and then M had gave him, or was it Q? No, Q. Q had gave him, or whatever that guy's name was, gave him a jacket that would inflate into this big ball, encasing you to protect you. And then it happens, it was an avalanche, and he ended up using that exact same one to cover him up to prevent him from dying from the avalanche. So really wasn't an avalanche, but it was an avalanche in some capacity. So I think overall that he was actually pretty cool. One of the best things about James Bond, and Pierce Brosnan capitalizes on this, is the fact that he is good with the freaking one-liners. He's always come back with a great sarcastic remark. He comes back with some of the most memorable lines. He's good with the quips. That's one thing I always enjoy when it comes to watching him as Bond. Like I said, it goes back to what I was saying about his relationships with like Q. I love the relationship he has with Q. I love the relationship he has with Moneypenny. I love the relationship he has with M. Comes off being such a smart ass, but she relies on him. So it's pretty cool. It's like the relationship M has with Daniel Craig's version, and I like that. So I'm definitely there in terms of the character. Is he an important character? Yes. He does that. He makes that character just interesting. He makes that character just pretty cool. Developing arcs, yes, each movie does explore him in a different aspect, and whether it's revealing more about an ally that brings something new out of him, or the death of the ally, or death of a female that he was interested in, there's always something that's learned within the film and forgotten in the next film. But but I really do like Pierce Brosnan's performance as Bond. I think, like I said, he is the definitive Bond. I think that, and I don't think there's actually any problem with what he's done. Like I said, I would have liked to have more of a storyline in his films, because his films feel so individual. But then again, all of the Bond films, well, most of the Bond films feel like they're just isolated episodes and not an actual story arc. The only one that kind of features more of a story arc is the Daniel Craig version, which I can't wait to really talk about Daniel Craig as Bond. Is Pierce Brosnan a good incarnation of the Bond character developed by novelist Ian Fleming? I think he is. I think he is. I think he definitely has the personality. Maybe not the full-on description, but he's actually a really good Bond. Even when he's in the older role as Bond, he still works as Bond. So I didn't really mind him. I think he was a great actor. He does a great job with the character. If I was to rank Pierce Brosnan as Bond, I would definitely give him a 4 out of 5. I think he does a great job and is great. You know, he had a good send off. He was a good character. He was a great actor. So I don't want to make this drag on too long. I gave you guys my thoughts. And perhaps one day we'll have a head-to-head where it's the Daniel Craig versus Pierce Brosnan, or the Pierce Brosnan versus Sean Connery, or Pierce Brosnan versus Roger Moore. There's so many ways we can go with this. But anyways, guys, there's my verdict in the comment section below. Let me know. Let us know what... Ooh, look, I knocked myself down. Let us know what are your thoughts about Pierce Brosnan. Do you think he played a really good Bond? Did you like his performance? What are some things you could have did better? And also let me know which one of these Bond films was actually your favorite, whether it be Tomorrow Never Dies, GoldenEye, The World's Not Enough, or Die Another Day. Also, be sure to hit that like, share, subscribe, and that notification button, guys, to get the best of what's going on this channel, because we do upload videos several times a week, and when you hit that notification button, you will get be the first ones to know and get those and enjoy them and watch them. So we will definitely catch you guys later to the next episode of Character Ranker and or videos that we're going to upload on this channel. We'll see you later.